ever look at stuff in your fridge or your freezer and go, I really need to use this? Well, that's what I did today. Hi, I'm Tina. I'm the girl in the garden. Sometimes I'm in the kitchen, and today I need to use up those eggs I froze. I did a video on it. I'll try to link it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I have some homemade pinto beans or refried beans here. I have Jimmy Dean helping out with some sausage, and I've got several different tortillas I need to use. So I've got some corn and 2-size flour. And these can all probably turn out a different way. But first, I'm going to do sausage, egg, and refried beans. Oh, and I have to get the cheese out too, because we got to have cheese. When I run out of beans, if I have eggs left, I'll go from there. What I haven't decided is if I'm going to add some onions to my eggs. Well, to start with, I am going to start with frying up the sausage because I want to use a little bit of that grease when I go to scramble my eggs. So I may put some red onions in there because I harvested. All right, well, let me get set up and busy cooking. Here's our sausage frying up, and it's not really leaving as much grease as I thought it would. So I'm kind of changing my strategy. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this sausage gravy, and I'm going to do an egg and sausage gravy burritos to start with. When the sausage is all gone, I'll move to my beans. All right, I'll be back. Okay, the way I do this is I don't even measure. I take like a serving spoon. And this right here took about 3 heapings of those. I did turn it down so nothing would scorch. So I'm just going to cook it a little bit like this and let that flour get all absorbed in what grease there is and the sausage. And then I'm going to add milk a little at a time. Alrighty. Then I add milk slowly, like a 1/4 cup at a time. Get it mixed real well before I add any more because I don't want clumps. Okay, so now I am just going to let it continue to heat and thicken up and see how thick it is to decide if I want more milk or not. Once it's done, I'm going to put it in another bowl so I can use this pan for my eggs. As you're doing this, make sure you're scraping the sides and the bottom for all the little bits. And yes, taste test it. I taste tested mine and went, oh, I haven't put any seasonings in here yet. So please don't forget to do that. This is almost done, and then I'm going to move on to eggs. Sorry, I got a phone call right in the middle of this. So I did rinse out my pan and rinsed my spoon. I didn't wash them. I did rinse them. Now you can see my eggs are starting to start cooking. Remember to season your eggs as well. And make sure you're constantly scraping. Okay? I'll be back. Potatoes and sausage gravy are done. I made a big old mess with the eggs. Get a bigger pan or do it in smaller increments. Okay, next down here I have my Pampered Chef tortilla warmer. You take them out of the plastic, you stick them in there and you warm them, and they stay hot while you're trying to wrap these burritos. So I have done breakfast burritos on here before, kind of showing you what I do with some of the stuff out of my garden. Breakfast burritos are probably one of our go-toest things to stick in the freezer, or taquitos, because first of all, it's handheld, it's easy. And when I get to actually using the refried beans, you're going to see I'm going to add spice to it. We love spice. It's just really convenient. So, but for these, because I wanted some gravy, and I don't know how that gravy will hold up in the freezer, but we'll see. Either I'm going to eat well or my chickens and my dogs will, right? All right, so I'm going to get these tortillas warmed, and I'm going to start rolling them. I'm not going to show you the process of rolling because it's only me here, and I can't roll with only one hand. All right, I'll be back. Here's our first sheet pan full of burritos, breakfast burritos, specifically sausage, gravy, and egg with salt, pepper, garlic powder. I'm going to stick these in the freezer so they freeze so I can put them in a Ziploc bag and they don't stick all together. As you can see, we still have some gravy and a lot of eggs left. I do not have the larger size of tortillas anymore. My other flour ones are about the size of the corn ones I have. So we'll see. We typically like flour tortillas for burritos. But I don't know. We'll see what I do next. Let me get these in the freezer and continue to wrap, roll. I was right. These are taquito size. But as you can see, we've got some egg left, but all the gravy's gone. I'm going to go ahead and get these in the freezer. And then I'm going to determine how much of my refried beans I actually need. I did put them back in the fridge so they would not like completely defrost. So I could break some off to use. So I got to do that. And then we'll get busy on our next set of breakfast burritos, making them spicy. All right, moving on to our next variety of breakfast burritos. We got our eggs left back there in the orange. I chopped up some onions and some peppers. I don't know what kind of peppers they are. They're from 2 years ago. They need to be used. They could be bell peppers. They could be jalapenos. They could be poblano's. And these are my homemade refried beans that I've defrosted. And we're just going to use it all up. I need to get it all used up. Get it out of my freezer. When I first did this stuff, I did not package for long-term storage. So when I go to do them again, now I'll know to package for long-term storage. And I'll know some ways that I want to use it. So it will help me figure out how I want to store them. All right, let's saute our onions and peppers since I didn't get to cook with the eggs. All right, I did add some taco seasoning. You can see I spilled it all over the place. I added taco seasoning to my peppers and onions because remember, the eggs had basic seasoning, so we could use them in 2 different ways. My refried beans are just refried beans. I don't put anything really extra in them because who knows how we want to use them when we cook them. Sometimes we might want them spicy. Sometimes less spice, more cheese. So again, not a lot of spices there. So with my onions and my peppers, that's where I'm going to add it. And then I'm just going to add these directly to my beans so I can get it all mixed in together good. Okay, eggs, cheese, and our refried beans with the onions and peppers mixed in. I'm going to do the same thing. I still have small tortillas. I'm going to heat them up in my little pouch thing I got from Pampered Chef. And then I'm going to start rolling, put it on a pan so I can freeze them individually. Whew, and that's it, folks. Those are our bean, cheese, and egg taquitos, burritos, flautas, whatever you want to call them. I did get through all of my tortillas except the corn ones. So next I need to see if I have chicken where I can do some chicken taquitos. It's really just, for me, the easiest thing to get done and get into the freezer. Excuse me. So these are going to go in the freezer. I'm just going to wait for everything to freeze overnight. Then I'll be putting them in labeled Ziploc bags. I do have a lot of beans left, and I think I'm going to do bean and cheese enchiladas tomorrow. It gets used up, and we love Mexican food. All right, well, it's been an all day of wrapping and rolling and whatever else we've done. Hopefully I've given you some ideas for food that you might find in your fridge or your freezer that needs to be used. Oh, if you can think of other things other than taquitos and burritos, hey, let me know. I've got more eggs I need to get frozen, so at least now I don't have any left in the freezer. All of my tortillas, only my corn is left. And actually, I could use them. Actually, you know what? I will do like little, again, taquitos. Obviously, it's not very big. Taquitos with beans. Then I will make a queso sauce to dip them in. That might be what we're having for dinner tomorrow. Anyway, thank you for joining me. This is Tina, the girl in the garden. I so appreciate you being here. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you learned something or were inspired in some way. Don't forget to share. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.